Hello everyone, my name is Aletha Prime and welcome back to another episode on the Welsknight Patreon server. So as you can see behind me, I am going to be working with the villagers a little bit again today. And what we are going to be doing is we are hopefully going to be outlining where some of the buildings are going to be going. So fortunately, the other team which have been working on the farms have made some really great progress. I'm not going to go too close because I'm not sure how close they are to being done, but we have the newly installed Wellsway station over there, which is actually a rail line that connects the farm area back to town, which is that direction to the north. Yes. Hello, phone. So what I'm going to be working on right now is basically not falling down there, trying to figure out where the different buildings are going to go as far as this little city is going to be growing. So we have some ideas. I went ahead and talked with Angel earlier, as you remember. He's not around right now, so I'm going to try and get this party started so that way more terraforming and more farms can go up. And yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start over here. One of the plans that we had was having a water mill right over here by the river. And I went ahead and brought some netherrack just to try and do this one. Outline some of these buildings. So I'm going to grab some of these. And I'm a little short on time for just the moment, and so I am not going to be doing a whole lot quite yet, but we're going to make progress over the course of this episode. So I'm just going to try and figure out kind of what size these things need to be. So our blacksmith is going to go here. So I'm guessing that the water wheel is probably going to go about right, somewhere about right here. We may have to pull this back, but that's okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and we can terraform and landscape this area later. So just to get a basic idea of where these buildings are going to go and approximately how big they're going to be, let's see. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. We'll go ahead and make this more perfect later on. So, okay, let's see. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. I think this will be a good size for the blacksmith. I count how many over this is. So we have 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. Perfect. More or less. Alright, so this may end up going out into the water a little ways, so that's fine. That's where our blacksmith is going to be, and then I think what we'll do is we'll have extra area maybe off to the side here. And this will actually be like furnaces and an anvil and that kind of stuff. So we have space 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we'll do one more. Have this come out. Let's see, got 1, 2, 3, 6. Maybe we'll do 7. And maybe extend this just a little bit. Just so that way we're not limiting ourselves too much on the size of the house. Okay. This is going to work just fine, I think. I'm going to come over here. Excellent. Right, and these. Oop, I need to make more torches. I don't have any wood. Of course I don't. Why would I? Alright, so let me go ahead and mark out some of these other areas, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, welcome back everyone. So I've made a little bit of progress and I've actually done some grinding, and here's what I've come up with so far. I'm still going to have to discuss with my cohort Angel his thoughts, but I have basically like the weaponsmith over here by the river, might do like a Fletcher and fisherman over here by the river as well. We have other like armorers and weaponsmiths and toolsmiths along this segment here, and then up here we have what's going to be our library. So it's I just kind of made a 33 by 33 box, figured that would be about the right size for what we're hoping to build, and I made up a little basic little tree farm just to kind of get an idea, well, to grind out some wood, because we're going to need a lot of it for this project. So in the meantime, while I'm kind of waiting and figuring out the designs with Angel, I'm going to go ahead and get the breeder set up. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find a way to get at least some of those villagers over here without letting all of them out and making a huge gigantic mess everywhere. So that'll be a fun project. But in the meantime, I went ahead and dug out a little area right down here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the breeder down here at the bottom, and I'm going to have a water stream that will send them up here and into a room in the library where we can then move them wherever we need them to go, and I think that should work pretty well. So instead of being over there in kind of a central area, I think it's going to be down here. And it's going to be far enough away from the only door that I know of in the area, which is the chicken coop off in the distance over there. They have made some excellent and lovely progress in this farming area, and I'm super excited to see how it's all going to continue. So let's go ahead, head down here, and sploosh. Okay, so I'm going to finish digging this area out, because this is where the actual breeder is going to go. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my old standby of Unary Bits Villager Breeder. I've been pretty happy with that one, and I think I'm going to stick with it for the time being. I'm going to come up with a better way of going up and down here, and yeah, so it's going to be some trial and error, but I think overall this is going to work out well. And so let me go ahead and refresh my memory on how to put this thing together, even though I've done it like 4 or 5 times, and work on getting some villagers moved. Okay, so I figured out how to get the villagers out, and so I got this first guy here, our lovely cleric, who has a terrible rotten flesh trade. So now it's time to play the ever amazing game of Push That Villager! Yeah. It's exciting. Riveting. This is the whole thing. So I'm gonna spare you guys and just keep pushing this guy and all the subsequent villagers down into the hole. Come on, let's go. Okay, so here I am down in this area, and as you can see, I've done a little prep work. I don't like having these slabs here right now, but one time I went up and brought down another couple of villagers, and I came back and there was a giant slime standing right here, so apparently we're on a slime chunk. So the slabs are here for now. We'll find something more permanent like glass or carpet in the future. But at any rate, we're not here to make this area look super pretty, because we're not going to come down here super often unless something goes wrong. But anyway, okay, so I have refreshed my memory on how to make this, and so hopefully we'll be able to do it without too much of an issue. So let me go ahead and actually, I'm gonna wait on these for a moment. Yes, okay. So the way that this is going to work is, starting off, I just need a random block right there. One on top of the torch, please. Oh, on top. Thank you. Okay. I don't need that now. I've also been working on getting some carrots from this farm up above us in order to have materials to breed the villagers with. Okay, so 2 blocks above the bottom, we're going to go ahead and put a cobblestone wall. That's what it's called. You're going to have to go away. Which means I'm going to need a torch somewhere. Well, there's a torch down there. I think we should be okay. We're going to find out. Okay, so then on top of that, we are going to put any fence post will do, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are going to build these fences up, or these cobblestone walls, 3 blocks. 1, 2, alright. Now, I'm glad I have a silk touch pick, because I will be breaking out some of this glass at some point in time. So, the way this is going, let's see, blah blah blah. I'm not very good at explaining things as I'm doing them, but anyway, one piece of advice I would have for doing this farm, or any sort of farm involving villagers, is to make sure that you have ender pearls, because if you end up falling in the breeder and you have no way out, it can be kind of a pain to try and get the villagers to go where you want them to. So, always have ender pearls. I have fallen in this thing More times than I would like to count. But anyway, okay. That'll give me an excuse to get rid of that. And so what you want is a full block in between this top slab and the next one down. So we're going to put 2 slabs, one on the top of that block, one on the bottom of that block. And we are going to continue to do this all the way around. I'm not going to worry about that until I start moving the villagers. Even then, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay. Bottom block, top block. Bottom block, top block. Lastly, bottom block and top block. Okay, so then what we want is we're going to put in some temporary blocks to kind of help guide the villagers in where we want them to go. Oh, not you. Okay. So this is where the fun is going to come in. I need a volunteer. Who wants to come? You're a farmer. You want to get this party started? Anyone? Don't make me come in there. Oh, we have our first volunteer. Welcome! Kind person of the cloth. Okay, we are going to get you into this thing. Alright, so I want to go ahead and do... So the hard part is going to be getting them exactly where you want them to go. So I think I've had mixed luck with this. So sometimes if I push them down this way, either they'll go straight down or they'll hop over that fence and go to the other side. So let's see what this guy does. Okay, so you went straight down. Perfect. Actually, that's wonderful. Alright. Let's grab the next one. Anyone? Or do I need to start pushing? No? Okay. These guys like being in this corner here for some reason. They just don't want to cooperate when I need them to. Alright. More of the amazing game of push that villager. Alright, farmer dude. Let's go to your inevitable home for the remainder of forever. Okay. Come on. Come on, dude. Let's go. You go. Okay. The only problem is when they start walking around, but fortunately, these guys seem relatively content to just be pushed. So, let me go ahead and get this guy in here too. Line him up just so. And... Alright, are you going to go where I want you to go? And this is where you have to be careful pushing them in, that you don't fall in yourself. Okay, it looks like that guy is actually standing on top of the fence post. Now, one way to deal with that is with snowballs, because it doesn't actually hurt them. It'll make them mad, but they can deal with it. Oh, crap. Except, if you are not far enough away, you'll end up clicking on them. Are you in there? Okay, cool. Axe, there you are. Losing things. Alright. So let me go ahead and get the other 6 villagers in here, and I will go ahead and come back and we'll work on the next part. Just keep in mind that 2 things that are your best friend when moving villagers are boats, sometimes minecarts, and water buckets. These guys are right up against the fence, and they are not going to want to move. So, I'm going to make them. Aha! And fortunately, fence gates do not get waterlogged, so you can just, encourage them to... Okay, so I've managed to get all the villagers in. It's kind of hard to see from, when you're so close, but it should make sort of a little bit of a square shape. Those guys over there aren't really complying right now, but they're in the right spot, ideally. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a cross of these slabs. And there we are. And then what we're going to do is... right there. We are going to, see if I can do this right, get some pistons right above these. Always hard placing them. Yeah, come on. There, and around the corner. 2 more there, and there. Okay, so then what we do is slab, slab, piece of glass, slab, slab. And I'm going to get rid of that block. It was just so I could get the pistons down. We're going to push it down with a block of redstone. Boom! Ideally, you shouldn't hear any of the villagers suffocating, which they're not. So, yay for all of that. Alright, then lastly, we are going to make a cross of glass, and push that down one more time. And break. Alright, and this is pretty much done at this point. All we have left to do for this section is just to get rid of some temporary blocks. So, these pieces of glass right here, and then this piece of glass right here. You could leave that glass there if you had something that was automatically feeding the villagers, but we are going to manually do that so that way we don't end up with like 300,000 villagers running all over the place. Alright, so then... Okay, the other thing that I want to do, I'm going to put a trapdoor on top of there just on the super off chance that like a zombie gets in here or something like that. Okay, so down at the bottom, what should have happened is the 3 cobblestone walls should have pushed down, and what you're going to do is you're going to ever so carefully get rid of the 2 bottom ones on the outside. So do not touch this one in the middle or else you'll have to start all over again. Alright. So then what we're going to do after this is I'm going to set up a water stream that's going to go this direction, and it's basically going to send all of the baby villagers into one section, and then I'll make a little water stream for them to go up through once they're actually grown up, and then we can have a space to filter out the ones that we don't want. Oh, right, no, the last thing that we need to do. This guy, we need to get him and 6 doors up above this breeder, so that way he will be our detector villager. So he will think that, he will look at the doors, think that there's a village, and not see enough people, so he will tell these people to make more villagers, and they will, and it'll be awesome. So let me go ahead and get that set up as well as along with the water streams, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Okay, so I think... Oh! Actually, I just realized one thing I forgot to do was to put the water in down there. So I have this little catch for the villagers that are going to come up. I managed to get the detector villager up here and dug up to the surface of that and put some glass blocks there. I put some glass blocks up there in order to give these doors sky access. So that should work. And yeah, so hopefully, and I gave these guys some carrots, so I'm going to come down here, look for some hearts, and then also, good, I do have both my buckets. See, how am I going to do this? Oh, I remember what I did last time. Is break these out, 1 bucket there, 1 bucket there, and they will all filter over here. So now the babies are only 1 block high, so they are going to stand... Ooh, that's not long enough. Rat. Okay. Okay, let me figure this out. You may not see them now. Oh, there they are! There they are! Look, it's hearts. It's hearts. I traded with them, and I gave them a bunch of carrots. And I also had to add a little bit more sky access. Like, I'm not an expert when it comes to making villager breeders, but I went ahead and made this 2x3, so that way pretty much all of these doors have sky access, and I think that made them a lot happier. So, let's see if we can get a little baby. Baby, please! Baby, please! Because I also want to see if this water stream is going to work the way that I intended to. I had to kind of move things around a little bit because it was just 1 block too far away. So hopefully when the baby drops down, he'll go right into this area over here and not drown. He shouldn't, but we're going to find out what happens and make adjustments as needed. In the meantime, I'm also going to grab more carrots while I'm waiting for this little guy to eventually fall to the ground. And I will keep you updated. And of course I turn off my recording just as that happens. Okay, so that's not going to work. But the good news is, we have a white coat. Which means they could be a librarian. Okay, so you are going to get pushed across. Come on. All the way. Keep going. Go, go, go. Okay, so I need to figure out what's going to happen here. Now I'm using my shovel. Okay, so that is not going to work. let's go ahead and pull this water off. Okay, so the water that we had here must have made him jump up there, but that's okay, because he won't go all the way up until he's fully grown. So, hopefully, shortly, we will have him going up and up and up and up into our little catch area. So, in the meantime, oh, I have an idea. I think if I just put water here, or if I just let it go like here, they should still be jumping. Yeah. So this won't get them up there, but once they're fully grown, they'll be jumping in the water. Yeah, this should work. It should totally work. Okay, well I'm going to stick around and continue with the experiments and taking care of these guys and making sure they're all happy and cozy and all of that. And yes, I will give you another update once this little guy's grown up. Okay, so I guess here's the update. Some people were building over in the farming area, so they ended up putting some doors on the like farmhouse and the chicken coop, and I think it was just close enough where it might have screwed up the breeder, which we all saw was working earlier. So I took down the doors, and I took down the doors that were down here. I had a little bit of extra light, and it's still having issues, so more troubleshooting is going to come. I'm just kind of hoping that I don't have to rebuild the whole thing, but I hear that Spigot is also causing issues with some of the villagers. I also turned the sound off. I'm sorry, but this will be short. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to get this up and running again soon. Otherwise, I'll probably end up just having to move the breeder again, and I may move it, if I do, over that way, because yeah, then we'll be farther away from any potential doors, hopefully. But the only problem is I kind of don't want to build out over this ravine, but we will do what needs to be done. So, but I'll probably have to go back and light up some of this area anyway, just to prevent mobs from spawning. So, we'll keep going. I did manage to get 5 new villagers, most of which aren't super useful, so we'll see if we keep any of them. In the meantime, I am going to call this an episode for now. I'm going to keep working, and I will show you the progress as it takes place. I've done a lot of wood chopping, so we'll get the library done, and yeah, hopefully I will see you very shortly. Thanks for joining me today. If you liked the episode, please give it a like, and if you have been enjoying this series, feel free to subscribe, and I hope that you have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next episode. And yes, I have a cod head. Goodbye.